Welcome back to Fin Talk with Anil. We are on the day 7 of 30 days, 30 financial topics. For the past 2 days, we have been discussing a lot about chit funds and how does it work, what are the benefits, what are the disadvantages, what are the things you need to keep in mind, what are the regulations that guide chit funds, etc., etc., and so on. We also took an example where we had a took different scenarios or know which month you should be bidding or how much you will gain, how much you will lose, basic on that, etc. You can check out the link above if you have missed the video. So let's move on to our day 7 of the series, and today we are going to discuss how you should or how to bid in chit funds. Yeah, so let's get started with our day. So, yesterday we have seen this example, but then we have covered until this point where you determine how much you invest after you take the advantage of the dividend basing on the bids. Yeah. So let's move on or start understanding from the concept of four-man commission. So every month we pay the four-man commission, which in our case 25,000, and which is otherwise should have been distributed among the members. Yeah, so if in this case I don't have the four-man commission of 25,000, the entire amount of 1,75,000 should have been divided between the 50 members. That will give you an advantage of 3,500. So which is as simple as that, every month you will be having an advantage of 500. So cut short, you are paying a 500 a month on your own, and during the entire period of the chit fund you will end up paying at least a 1 month commission of the foreman, which is 25,000. Yeah. So that being said, you have to take in consideration that. Now, how to do the bidding? So let us start calculating with 15% lending capacity for you outside the market or an option available outside the market. So how much you should bid or what is the maximum amount you should be bidding? For this, we have calculated the present value of rupees in our case 4,75,000, because that's the maximum payout at the end of the tenure which you are going to get. So you should be bidding not more than 2,34,670 rupees. So that's like the maximum loss you can go for the bidding, right? So someone who uh, has an option to lend it at 12%, then you should not be bidding more than 2 lakh 3,000 for the first month, or 2 lakh for the second month, or 1 lakh 98,000 for the third month, and so on. So the idea is, this is like the maximum you should go. If you're sitting there in the bed and you see that the uh, of course you are in need of money, in something in your mind that you want the money, and then you're already considering both the options, and you notice that the bid is going way lesser than 2 lakh 3,000. Let us say 1 lakh 50,000, or in our case 1 lakh 75,000. Then you should be taking the advantage of the bid, so you can save on those interests which you are going to pay in the future. So that being said, that makes this example very interesting. At also from 31st month onwards, it just goes on a flat 5%, which is just the foreman's commission. So from there on, if you let us say if you notice the bid going at 31st month, close to 25,000. I mean, 25,000 is like the mandatory bid which you have to pay or which you have to bid to secure the foreman's commission. But then if you notice that the bid is going at 25,000 or 50,000, then I would suggest you to take off the bait, like go on board and say like I want to take it for 50,000 or 55,000 and own the bait. So then you should invest that amount which you will get, which is then you wouldn't be losing out a much, only a 25,000 you would be losing out on your uh, final payout, which gives you an amount of 4 lakh uh, 50,000 in this case. So I suggest you take the money even if you don't need it. Just put it in a bank where you get a 12% or so to say, let us understand, a 9% interest rate. Then you will get a whopping 88,000 return, which offset with your loss would be 60,000. Yeah, or what you have lost during the bet. So that more or less like covers your next 6 months at least, contribution. Right? So making informed decisions are important. Chit funds are not always driven by feelings. Let us understand if you are someone who wants to wait at the end of the month, right? Let us say you want to invest this at a rate of 12% per annum, what you're going to get, right? So if I invest the same amount, which is like 7,000 at 12% for interest rate, which will B further gives me an advantage of compounding. So at the end of the 50th month, your 7,000 will become 11,398 if you rather want to go for mutual funds at a compounding rate of interest. Yeah. So on if you're investing 7,100 at the 40, at the second month, by the end of the 50th month would be 11,447. So let us add on these amounts and find out how much you are going to make at the end of the 50th month. So including the last month's premium, you would be making a whopping amount of 5,75,684 rupees. That's right, guys. So if you keep on investing this amount in mutual fund instead of chit funds, then you would come up with a 75,000 or in our case 1 lakh extra uh, return, which is definitely worth the uh, wait, right? Which otherwise couldn't have been possible, right? So it is very important to make this kind of informed decisions when it comes to finances. Yeah. So let us see that in picture I took a 12% rate of return to be modest. Trust me, guys, the mutual funds are did. I will zoom it in for you. And okay, so been said, let's make it a big man stock. Put some commas. Yeah, that works, right? So, is it worth it? Like, borrow those amount. In our case, let us say if I'm borrowing a capital of borrowed capital, or let us say we are borrowing the so-called amount, which is for the first month we have for example, we have paid to a loss of 1,75,000 to gain a 3,25,000 return. Let us see if we borrow that using our typical borrowing methodologies, you are going to pay a 5,12,895 rupees by the end of the fifth year, or by the end of the 50th month. On the other way, when you pay back the same amount to mutual fund and wait for your maturity to pay back, then you would have to end up paying 5 lakh 12,000 for your loan, but then you have already been made at an amount of 5 lakh 69,000 at the rate of 12, I mean 11% in our case, which will be also giving you an advantage of 56,000 rupees. Yeah. So, mind we are investing at a 11% interest rate and we are borrowing at a 12% interest rate. But then, if you're someone who's also going for a mutual fund, and trust me, guys, it is as good as 14%. And if you're someone who is very good with the credit score, you can get the loan of 5 lakhs with as good as 10% interest rate. Yep. So, taking an advantage of 10% borrowing rate, and if you're someone who has wants to take the advantage of a growing mutual funds, if you have still doubts, then best performing mutual funds with uh, yearly returns. Yeah. So let's go there and see mutual funds. I would trust money control. Let's go there and see if I'm. Yeah. So you see the year to date returns, which are like from the start of this year, which is already reached a 20% return for this year, which and if you want to see the last year for year 2023, these funds have given more than like 30% or 24%. Let me find out the lowest if possible. The lowest been 18 or 19 or 16%, guys. So the lowest been 16%. If I want to go the lowest been, even if it is a bad performer, of course there were years before where it barely gave you a 2%, 4%, but then that's the best part. I mean, that's where you take the advantage of the mutual fund. So for the calculations coming back, so it is very much okay to take a 14% rate of return and a borrowing rate, which is personally to me available at a 10%. So if I'm borrowing this 3,25,000, I'm going to make a 1,14,000 extra than what I have to pay back to the bank at the end of the. So that makes sense, I believe. Do let me know if you like this explanation. Do let me know whether it is any helpful to you. Come with your scenarios or your unique situations. I'm more than happy to help you calculate the things for you, or you can ask me in the comments if you want to have this Excel where you want to do your own calculations. Um, that being said, thank you so much for watching till the end. Show me some love, hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for tomorrow. Thank you. Bye bye.